Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. In our major story, World Health Organization declares Nigeria Ebola-free after 2 cycles of 21-day incubation period with no outbreak of fresh case. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan credits Nigerians for the country's Ebola-free status. Spokesman of Speaker of the House of Representatives denies his defection to APC from the PDP. And outside Nigeria, policy reversal as Turkey invites Iraqi Kurdish fighters to fight Islamic State militants in Kobani. And now the details. The World Health Organization has officially declared that Nigeria is free of the Ebola virus disease. This, according to WHO official, is because the country has not had any outbreak in the last 42 days, which is 2 cycles of 21-day incubation period for the virus. WHO country representative Rui Gamavas describes the feat as a spectacular success story at a news conference in Abuja. In spite of the certification of Nigeria as Ebola-free by the World Health Organization, the Lagos State government has vowed not to disband existing structure that led to the successful containment of the deadly disease. The State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, says the facilities will be maintained to fight a reoccurrence of the virus. Abiola Oluwale's report is presented from our studio.
The prompt joint response of the federal and Lagos State government was instrumental to the containment of the deadly Ebola virus disease imported into the country by late Liberian diplomat Patrick Sawyer. WHO statistics reveal there were over 9,000 Ebola cases, resulting in over 4,000 deaths so far. Nigeria contributed 20 cases and 8 fatalities. The State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, says Lagos is ready to send volunteers to Sierra Leone to assist. Highlighting the steps taken by Lagos in the containment of the virus, Idris says existing structures like the emergency centers and the cremation law assisted in arresting the spread of the disease. He stressed that the Lagos State government will maintain and upgrade facilities used in the fight against the disease, as well as develop local capacity to curb future occurrence.
As it is now, we will not disband the structure that we put in place. We did not intend to, and we will not, but rather hone on their effectiveness and efficiency. And some of the key factors that helped us, again, in what we did was the political will and support at the highest level of governance, including the governor of this state, again, who played a very active role. Members of the State Executive Council, some of us are here, and others, again, who played their own roles all around. And again, the activity support by the federal government and all the other external agencies who helped us, WHO, CDC, MSF, UNICEF, etc. There were many. It was a collaborative effort.
He also announced a gesture of 50 million naira to First Consultants Medical Center, urging that government will assist the survivors of the disease.
President Goodluck Jonathan has hailed health workers, volunteers, and Nigerians in general for the role they played in containing the Ebola virus disease in the country. He also commended the unity of purpose demonstrated by the governments of Rivers and Lagos states and officials of the government. Jonathan spoke through his spokesman, Ruben Abati, at the presidential villa shortly after the World Health Organization declared Nigeria free of Ebola disease.
President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan welcomes today's declaration by the World Health Organization that Nigeria is now officially Ebola-free after 42 days without any incidents of the Ebola virus disease. President Jonathan dedicates the certification to the many patriotic health workers, volunteers, and ordinary Nigerians who work tirelessly, some of them paying the ultimate price in the process, to stop the deadly virus in its tracks after it entered the country in July this year. He believes that Nigeria's globally acclaimed success against Ebola is a testimony to what Nigerians can achieve if they set aside their differences and work together, and he calls on Nigerians to strive to replicate the unity of purpose and the all-hands-on-deck approach adopted against Ebola in other areas of national life. As the nation applauds the success of its collective effort to stop the transmission of the Ebola virus within Nigeria, however, President Jonathan warns that the entire country must remain fully alert and vigilant against the re-entry of the virus.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says the successful eradication of Ebola virus disease would change the negative perception of the country by the outside world. He also said in a press statement issued by his media office in Abuja that the Nigerian government, as well as Lagos and Rivers State governments, should be commended for the achievement. The former vice president added that the declaration of Nigeria as an Ebola-free zone was a clear demonstration of the outcome of collaboration, hard work, and commitment of the federal government, Lagos and Rivers State government. Atiku said he was impressed with the manner Nigeria had proved to the world that it had the will, commitment, and human resources to deal with critical challenges of this nature. The APC's presidential aspirant also extolled the virtues of medical personnel during the battle to control the spread of Ebola, adding that he was touched by the sacrifices of medical personnel who sacrificed their own lives to save others. A few minutes after receiving the Ebola-free certification from the World Health Organization, Onyebuchi Chukwu handed over to the Minister of State for Health, Kaliru Alasan, at a brief ceremony in Abuja. Chukwu is one of the 7 cabinet members whose exit from the government was announced by President Goodluck Jonathan last Wednesday. He's keen on contesting the 2015 general governorship election in Ebonyi State on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. Widespread news over defection of Speaker of House of Representatives Aminu Tambuwal from the PDP to the APC denied by spokesman. Find out more after this timeout. Stay with us.
This needs precision. Yes! Got to get her home before her curfew.
My dad!
Uh-oh, got to get her home fast. If we cut across 3 streets in 3 minutes and speed across the market in 2, should make it to the
Can we make it?
If we take the stairs at 30 seconds per flight, we just might. Yes! Made it in time. Mission accomplished. Get everyday energy fast with Lucozade Boost.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe. And watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Nigerians continue to
Tonight,
travel
the
in
city
and
of
out
Lagos
their
went
still
agog
a poor
as all
level of
routes
To you on
Be the first to know.
on CoreTV News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa,
Federal High
we
Court.
break the news.
We are one Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are CoreTV News,
Welcome to
a
CoreTV.
24-hour news station.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united with similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News, and if you're just joining us, here is a quick reminder of some of our major headlines. World Health Organization declares Nigeria Ebola-free after 2 cycles of 21-day incubation period with no outbreak of fresh case. President Goodluck Jonathan credits Nigerians for the country's Ebola-free status. Spokesman of the House Spokesman of the Speaker of the House of Representatives denies his defection to APC from PDP. You can also reach us on our social media platform on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News, on Twitter @CoreTV News NG, and on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, has not defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress, his special advisor Imam said in a statement. He, however, confirmed that the Speaker attended a political meeting with Sokoto State Governor Ali Wamako on Monday, adding that Tambuwal's consultation on his political future continued. The meeting, according to Imam, had in attendance prominent Sokoto citizens, many of whom have no known political affiliation, the most notable being the Sultana of Sokoto and former Minister of Finance Alhaji Abubakar Alhaji. The statements came on the heels of widespread reports in the social media that the Speaker had dumped the ruling party for the APC. President Goodluck Jonathan last night met with state governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in Abuja. The meeting held at the First Lady's conference room behind closed doors and ended early on Monday morning. Journalists were barred from the venue of the meeting on the grounds that it was a private session, but governors who were present disclosed that preparations for the 2015 election topped the agenda.
Very fruitful meeting. We discussed about our party, the primaries that will soon come, how to fortify our party and do very well, and avoid rancor and in-house fighting. Succession plan. The thing is that we have. That's I told you we discussed primaries, and normally candidates will have to emerge through credible primaries. That was what was discussed. We didn't discuss about endorsement.
We had a session with Mr. President to brainstorm. You know, we are in the season of electioneering now. Party primaries are soon coming up. So we just came to exchange ideas, strategize on the way forward.
The prospects of the PDP is equally very, very bright. Yes, there's an opposition quite in place, but the party is working very hard to make sure that very, very closely and appropriate steps will be taken. And with active support of the electorate, we believe we'll do very, very well come 2015. Excellent.
A pro-Jonathan support group under the aegis of FCT Indigenes and Geopolitical Leaders Forum has joined in the call on President Goodluck Jonathan to contest in the 2015 presidential election. Speaking during a courtesy visit on elder statesman Edwin Clark in Abuja, leaders of the delegation, Ayuba Ngbako, stated that FCT Indigenes have passed a vote of confidence on the Jonathan administration and will be conducting a rally to this effect. In his response, Clark commended the group for their support while describing Jonathan as the right man for the job.
Our mission is to mobilize the people of FCT to vote for His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Jonathan before the primaries and after the primaries, including all other contestants under People's Democratic Party, to showcase the dividends and the giant strides of the transformation agenda of the President to the FCT Indigenes and other Nigerians who cast their vote in Abuja.
This is the first time the Indigenes and the various personalities or groups or geographical areas that the people of Nigeria living in our capital city have come to express their loyalty, express their willingness to support Mr. President.
President Goodluck Jonathan on Monday held a closed-door meeting with former Borno State Governor Alimodu Sharif. The meeting was held inside the presidential villa few days after reports of gun battle between troops and insurgents in some parts of the northeast in spite of a ceasefire agreement. The former governor, who is now a member of the ruling People's Democratic Party, brushed off attempts by journalists to have him speak on his interaction with the president. Sharif insisted that he had no comment as he moves to the office of the Chief of Staff to the President, Jones Arobufa, where he joined former Lagos State Military Governor Buba Marwa, who had also held a meeting with Jonathan. Reactions have continued to trail the recent ceasefire deal between Nigeria and Boko Haram. A security expert, Onai Homo, has advised the federal government not to swallow hook, line and sinker the deal reached with the dreaded militant group. Ekomo, who spoke to CoreTV News in Lagos, warns that the ceasefire deal does not translate to end of war, adding that the federal government should be vigilant.
It is quite premature of the federal government to stop fighting because it is not clear that these guys are on. They are on yet. Well, I guess perhaps in keeping with the ceasefire agreement, they have ceased firing. But once that ceasefire was breached, the government soldiers should be back in operation. The federal government has been a sincere broker, peace broker in this matter. The problem had always been Boko Haram, and that is why we are worried that even with this ceasefire deal, the latest ceasefire deal that has been announced, that is only the federal government side that's announcing it, that BH is not on board announcing the deal. And like I keep saying, unless and until I see Abu Shekau come out and say that, yes, stop fighting, nothing is going to happen.
And against the backdrop of the recent ceasefire deal between Nigeria and Boko Haram, one of the nation's security agencies, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, has emphasized the import of peaceful coexistence, especially in a multi-ethnic society like Nigeria. The NSCDC, at a human capacity development training in conjunction with a non-governmental organization, Impacts for Change and Development, stressed the all-important role of peace at this time in the nation's development. Oluwaseyi Adegoke's report is presented from our studio.
The event, tagged Peace and Conflict Resolution, emphasized the reality of peaceful coexistence among Nigerians
and admonished them not to only talk the peace but also walk the peace. The Lagos Commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Donatus Ikemefuna, says peacekeeping is of utmost priority.
In Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, we have a very vibrant peace and conflict resolution unit. But going forward, we also felt that everybody who works for this organization should be in a position to mediate. Look at our name, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. We should be seen to mediate in matters that affect the general public. That is one of our core mandates. And we're here to make sure that it works out really very well.
The Executive Director of Impact for Change and Development, Naomi Akpanita, says peacekeeping is not a one-way traffic but a collective responsibility.
Peace and conflict resolution, how we achieve it is multifaceted. It depends on the issue. But one thing that is very key is having the right mindset. The perspective that helps you to see it as doable. When you're beginning to see a conflict as a do or die thing, as I must win or the other person must win, then we'll have a problem because it's going to end up in a do or die situation. But when you see that this is something that's a part of life and can be resolved and can be addressed in such a way that you go on happy and I go away happy too, then that's a new perspective to it. That helps us to mutually work towards ensuring that something good comes out of it.
The organizers urges Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps to make a change and impart peace in the society.
The governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, has announced that a public service review and local government caretaker committees will be set up. Speaking at the swearing-in of the secretary to the state government and the inauguration of the special advisors, Fayose says the committees will be put in place to redress public service anomalies. The caretaker committee is aimed at making the government closer to the people within the shortest possible time. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
In what may have passed for his first official assignment as the governor of Ekiti State, Fayose swearing in Modupe Alade as the secretary to the state government and other special assistants, says his government will keep a sizable cabinet in order to keep government up and running.
I am going to compress this government to a sizable one. Not 30-something permanent secretaries, 30-something commissioners. I can't afford it. I'm going to compress this government and I'm going to do it with a human face. And I've directed the head of service and some of the permanent secretaries to work together and compress this government for me to what I can afford, manage successfully.
Advising the appointees, including the SSG, to discharge their duties in the interest of Ekiti citizenry, Fayose promises to give women adequate representation in all tiers of governance in the state.
Once a permanent secretary, once a civil servant, to those people, don't behave to them like politicians. Try your best and strike the balance. Your appointment, which is the first appointment in this government, has demonstrated my love for women. Women will have right of place and they will get that 35% in government. They will not only get it in government, they will get it in House of Assembly.
Making reference to the recent sack of some local government caretaker officials and reversal of the appointment of permanent secretaries appointed by ex-governor Kayode Fayemi at the close of his administration, Fayose hints at the reform of the public service.
I'm going to set up committees very soon that will look into the public service, the local government, and see how we can reposition everything and have the right people in the right places. That committee will be in place within the next 72 hours. Has supported us. They can't speak English. They can't do this, they can't do that. That's not my business. Automatically, I can't read, I can't write. Two of them must be in each local government.
The new appointees include the Chief Press Secretary, Idowu Adelusi, Special Assistant on Information, Larry Olayinka, the Special Assistant on Special Duties and Stomach Infrastructure, Sunday Anifowoshe, and 4 others. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
A federal high court in Lagos on Monday quashed the share purchase agreement which transferred ownership of Newswatch Communications Limited to businessman Jimoh Ibrahim. Two minority shareholders, Nuhu Arua and Jibril Aminu, had filed a petition urging the court to nullify the agreement which transferred ownership of the company to Ibrahim. The applicants also sought an order restraining the respondents from publishing and selling to the public Newswatch Daily and Weekend magazines. Respondents in the suit are Newswatch Communications Limited, Global Media Mirror Limited, Jimoh Ibrahim, Newswatch Newspapers, and the Corporate Affairs Commission. Delivering judgments in the suit, Justice Ibrahim Buba upheld all the prayers of the minority shareholders. The judge also awarded the sum of 15.7 million naira damages against Ibrahim and gave an order stopping further publications of Newswatch Daily. Buba held that the respondents could not prove that they paid up for the shares, as the petitioners gave evidence to show that the second to the third respondents totally failed to pay the shares of the company. President Goodluck Jonathan has launched the National Schools Agriculture Program in continuation of efforts to modernize the sector. The program is, amongst others, aimed at building technical and entrepreneurship skills in students to enable them run agriculture as a business, as well as enable the youth develop a positive attitude towards agriculture. Speaking at the launch, the president expressed confidence that the project would help pave way for a new generation of modern farmers to replace the aging ones.
It's a vital part of our strategy to address youth unemployment, youth inclusion in economic diversification, food security and replacement of our aging farmer population. By promoting the participation of students in agriculture along the value chain, the National School Agri Program will instill a self-reliant entrepreneurship culture within our school children from an early age. I have already directed for this pilot phase. We're selecting 12 states. And of course, Dr. Sani wanted to start with all the secondary schools in the country. He had that drive, but I said no. Until this government is ending, we just have a few months to the end of this administration. If you go with a program, say you run across so many schools, they will tell you that you are making you are trying to launch a political program. Take few schools. In fact, I forced her to limit ourselves to 12 schools. Let the program be extremely successful. When it's extremely successful, you'll get the buy-in of the governors, you get the buy-in of the local government chairman, you get the buy-in of the population. And in that case, it will be easy for federal government to push it across.
Our youths have always seen agriculture as a poor man's sector. This is because all they have ever seen are poor farmers using hoes and cutlasses. Hoes and cutlasses are not technologies. They connote suffering and have no place in modern agriculture. That is why Mr. President has launched a very bold 50 billion naira private sector-led agricultural mechanization program to provide affordable mechanization services to farmers across the country. It's the first time it has ever been done in the history of this country. We need young people in agriculture. Today, the average age of our farmers is over 60 years. There is an aging farmer crisis, not just in Nigeria, but all across Africa. Unless we change this, within 20 years, there will be no farmers left to feed you and I in Nigeria. That is why Mr. President launched an innovative and bold program called Youth Employment in Agriculture Program, YIP, to develop a new cadre of young commercial farmers and agribusiness entrepreneurs that we call agropreneurs. There are going to be 750,000 of those being created over the next 5 years. They will be supported with mechanized services, technical and managerial skills, access to land, and since this has the strong support of the CME, I'm sure they will have a lot of finance to go with it to actually crown the great program she's doing, the UWIN program. That's a fantastic program.
We'll take another break now and return with business, sports, and stories outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website.
www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
To anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Thank you for being there. Now to business news. Macroeconomic reforms have continued to yield dividends as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, announced a significant improvement in foreign direct investment. He made this known at the 2014 CIBN investiture. Here is the report.
The hall was filled to capacity with bankers, entrepreneurs from all sectors of the Nigerian economy. The occasion tagged 2014 Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria investiture, making Nigeria a major destination for foreign direct investment. Top on the list of those honored was the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, who used the occasion to draw attention to Nigeria's macroeconomy policy stability, which he emphasized has been attracting foreign direct investments.
When Nigeria was associated with volatile exchange rates, high external debt, unsustainable budget deficits, high inflation, economic starvation. In the decades of the 1990s, foreign direct investment into Nigeria averaged only $1.5 billion per annum. Today, I am happy to note that the situation has significantly changed due to the difficult but necessary structural and macroeconomic reforms which have been implemented in the country since the return of democratic governance in 1999. At the Central Bank of Nigeria, our contribution to laying the foundation for a vibrant economy that attracts significant foreign direct investment has been anchored on promoting policies that sustain the country's hard-earned macroeconomic stability.
The Central Bank of Nigeria governor, the Nigerian economy is not only growing, but has the potential to revive other moribund sectors.
With a GDP of over 80 trillion naira, average growth rates of about 5% between 2010 and 2013, and an economic expansion that is being driven by the non-oil sector, it is obvious that the Nigerian economy is not only growing but is diverse with opportunities across multiple sectors such as services, e-commerce, art and craft, manufacturing, entertainment, and agriculture.
With several economic indications over the years, it expected that sound and wise macroeconomy policies and revival in the non-oil sector, especially agriculture, will add to the expected growth. Sabena Izoku, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The federal government has announced that the ongoing construction of Abuja-Kaduna Standard Gauge rail line would be completed and delivered by the end of 2014. According to the Minister of Transport, Idris Umar, at a ministerial press briefing on the ministry's programs and projects, about 155 kilometers of the rail track has been laid out of 108.5 kilometers, which constitutes 85% of the project. The minister also disclosed that construction and rehabilitation of the Takpe-Ajaokuta-Warri Standard Gauge rail line is expected to be completed by the second quarter of 2015. He says arrangements have been concluded for the purchase of 2 more locomotives in the first quarter of 2015 to be added to the 25 HP locomotive acquired from General Electric for narrow gauge rail lines. Umar emphasized that transportation is important in the economic, political and social development of any nation. He says the ministry is living up to its billings to develop an adequate, safe, environmentally sound, efficient, affordable, integrated transport system within the framework of a progressive and competitive national and international market economy. Equity transactions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a positive note. The all-share index dipped by 1.22% to close at 38,662.65 basis points. Market capitalization appreciated in the same manner and closes at 12.61 trillion naira. In all, a total of 353.8 million shares valued at 4.15 billion naira were exchanged in 5,221 deals. Report shows that Seplat Oil topped the gainers chart, followed by WAPCO, Owando and Nigeria Bureaus, Stanbic, First Bank, Nigeria Holdings, Zenith Bank and Diamond Bank. On the flip side, Nestle topped the chart, followed by Forte Oil, Peasant, Guinness and Unilever. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And now moving to the sporting world, the newly appointed Super Eagles coach Shaibu Amodu has promised to salvage Nigeria's hopes of qualifying for next year's Africa Cup of Nations. The Super Eagles are third in Group A of the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers behind South Africa and Congo. Nigeria will need maximum points from their remaining games to be sure of their place at the biennial tournament, which they won in South Africa last year. Amodu, along with Salisu Yusuf, Benga Ogumbote and Aloysius Agu, were named in the new Super Eagles technical crew on Thursday, with their immediate task being prosecuting the last round of qualifying matches to Africa's biggest soccer showpiece next January. The Super Falcons will be at next year's World Cup in Canada as Africa champions, according to striker Desire Okparanozie. Nigeria battled Bayana of South Africa on Wednesday for a place at the African Women's Championship in Namibia. France-based striker Okparanozie said the target is for the Falcons to be crowned champions of Africa again on their way to returning to the World Cup. The top 3 teams at Namibia 2014 will feature at next year's World Cup in Canada. Real Madrid's world record signing Gareth Bale is a doubt for Wednesday's Champions League game at Liverpool. Bale has injured an upper thigh muscle and was an unused substitute in Saturday's league win over Levante. Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho has ruled Diego Costa out of the club's Champions League group game against Maribor on Tuesday. The Spain international missed his first Premier League match on Saturday as the Blues triumphed 2-1 at Crystal Palace to maintain their 5-point lead at the top of the table. Andy Murray has his sights firmly set on a place at the ATP World Tour Finals after securing his 30th Tour title. The Scot recovered from a one-set deficit to beat Spaniard David Ferrer 5-7, 6-2, 5-7-5 and win the S-Bank Open in Vienna, becoming just the 5th active player to have 30 trophies to his name. And now Murray aims to book his place at the year-ending ATP World Tour Finals for the 7th consecutive season. The victory over Ferrer ensured Murray 250 ATP points, nudging him 110 points clear of 9th place Ferrer in the rankings. Only the world's top 8 players qualify for the tournament in London. And now to other stories outside Nigeria. Turkey is to allow Iraqi Kurdish fighters to cross the Syrian border to fight Islamic State militants in Kobani, in what is being seen as a policy reversal. Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu said talks on the subject were continuing. Tens of thousands of people have fled months of fighting in Kobani between ISIS militants and Syrian Kurd defenders. The announcement came shortly after the U.S. carried out airdrops of weapons to the town's Kurdish fighters. U.S. Central Command also confirmed 6 airstrikes by the U.S.-led coalition near Kobani over Sunday and Monday, as well as 6 in Iraq near Fallujah and Baiji involving French and UK aircraft. Report says Kobani has been largely quiet for the second day running, with Kurdish fighters apparently having driven ISIS militants from most of the town. Observers say the Turkish government's decision is a major boost for the defenders' morale. And just before we close the show tonight, here is a wrap-up of the stories that made our headlines. We told you that the World Health Organization has declared Nigeria Ebola-free after 2 cycles of 21-day incubation period with no outbreak of fresh case. We also brought you a report that President Goodluck Jonathan has credited Nigerians for the country's Ebola-free status. Finally, the spokesman of Speaker of the House of Representatives has denied his defection to APC from the PDP. And that's been the show tonight. On behalf of our entire news crew, I am Ebulomo Adekunle wishing you a pleasant night rest.